Hello. Welcome to Blockchain Brunch, where the coffee is strong, the hiring tea is hot, and we're doing resumes today. We are auditing, ripping apart, helping you position your resume so that way you can land a crypto job, right? If we can help you find a job, fantastic. If you can help you find a job, fantastic. Goal accomplished. Just waiting here to make sure that we are live on the LinkedIn's. Oh no, yes we are. Beautiful. Okay. Hello everybody. Welcome. I'm just turning up my volume in case we get some comments here. Okay, beautiful. So if you would like to send me your resume, send it to me on LinkedIn or Telegram. Let's go over it. We can also go over your LinkedIn profile, but this is your opportunity to get help and ask questions, and let's diagnose what's going on. There's a ton of crypto jobs out there. I just made a post on TikTok about it's beginning to look a lot like Q4. I'm not going to sing for you, but anyway, that's my TikTok post. And it basically says that the job market is slowing down, but we're in crypto. Job market does not slow down in crypto. Job market doesn't slow down in general. But super excited to be here. Get excited because not only are we going to be live here on LinkedIn, YouTube, we lost Instagram access. That's fine. Hey, Trev. YouTube, TikTok, Telegram. Join our Telegram group to get live updates. We've been slacking a little bit on that, but we're going to get better. Trev, can I add you to the stage? Ready? Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
This layout looks different. Like we look skinny.
I know. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, so this is the 9x6. I don't know. This is iPhone phone mode. But it'll just be easier to edit the videos.
Phone version.
The phone version.
Dope. All right. I'm down. Happy Wednesday, friend. I think you paused up a little bit there.
I don't know what is going on with my internet. I'm literally hardwired in on my desktop. Whatever. I don't know what I need to do. I mean, I'll contact Comcast and be like, guys, you're messing up my live streams. But I wanted to say, we've been increasing our community on TikTok. I never realized how many crypto people were on TikTok and how supportive they are of each other. Like, I'm on TikTok live, and like, it's just crazy. It was funny. Someone actually joined yesterday and he was like, this is exactly what I would expect a crypto scammer to look like. And I was like, yes, that is true. I am the crypto scammer. Yes. Conrad, what are the hardest roles to fill right now in skill sets in crypto? Great question. So one of the hardest roles, in my opinion, is going to be sales and business development. I think that sales can be really hard to recruit for because you're dealing with people and sales skills, and a salesperson's job is to sell themselves. Hold on while I send this call to voicemail. Job is to sell themselves. So sometimes it's, difficult to screen. So that would be the hardest based off like gut check. I think the second hardest are going to be these AI developers. One, they don't exist. Got the pick of the, they could work wherever they want to work. So it's definitely hard to gain their attention and get them to make a move. Those would be the hardest positions to fill right now. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Shake your crypto maker.
So let's not even talk about it. So anyway, guys, don't forget, send me your resumes if you would like your profile audited, your resume ripped apart. Let's talk about it. Let's help you find a crypto job. Also, I made a post about this yesterday. I am opening up my calendar. I'm getting way too many DMs, and like, it makes me feel terrible when I can't get back to everybody. So I am putting away 2 days a week to have hour-long conversations in a group format. So come on in, join, ask your questions. I mean, you can DM me, but you can't get upset when I don't reply. So here's your opportunity to have that conversation. And
Help
Trevor and I will
us
be
help
doing,
you.
yeah, help us help you. And Trevor and I will be doing, there's a couple options. There is, I need help looking for a job, which is a free slot. There is I need help with my resume, which is a paid slot. There is, I need interviewing help, like interviewing prep. That's also a paid slot that Trevor and I are going to be doing together. So we're here to help. I don't know anybody else that's doing this, but that's okay. And we just want you guys to be successful, right? It was incredibly nice that Owen Healy made a post about some of the things we're experiencing online. What was great is to see all that support. I guess like one of my toxic traits is I think people hate me. Like, even though I'm helpful, even though I'm semi-funny and like I get a bunch of support, I don't know why. I just feel like people don't like me. So to see 400 people get involved in this drama was just an incredible feeling, and really reminded me that doing the right thing, being kind, and leading by example helps. I mean, it's the right thing to do. So I just wanted to say thank you for all your support. If anybody has any questions, leave a comment. Conrad, you are so welcome. But send your resume. I've got my Telegram. Do I have my Telegram open? I do not. I'm going to open my Telegram. There were a couple people that sent, but I want to wait until they're in the room. Let me DM Hector. Whoa, hold on one second. Let me get him in the room so he can do this. Are your rates publicly available? Rates for what, my friend? Rates for recruiting or rates for resume/interview prep? Good morning, Peter. How are you? Glad to see you here. Randall, we're not here to gatekeep. We're happy to share whatever information. I mean, we don't post our rates on our website, and I actually learned this from Indeed. I had a really good friend that worked at Indeed on the job posting side. And I asked him, I was like, why don't you guys ever post how much it costs to post a job on your website? And he said, well, if someone doesn't understand, if someone just sees the cost, but doesn't understand the value behind the cost, they're not going to move forward. So if I were to just be like, yeah, $1 million, they'd be like, whoa, not interested. But if I talked about everything they get for that million, nothing we offer is $1 million. I wish, but nothing. Then they're more likely to move forward. But we're happy to be transparent about that. Motion has a question. Lay it on me.
Send us a message, Randall. Send us a DM if you want to talk about it more.
No, I'm fine to share. So resume audits, where we spend 30 to an hour together. That's where we're going through your LinkedIn profile, your resume. We're reformatting, we're repositioning it, we're giving tips, we're answering questions. And then you also get direct access to us, right? So everybody that I've had sign up for this event, and we've done hundreds, maybe thousands. No, at least hundreds. But basically what happens is then you can reach out to me and say, hey, Emily, I'm interested in this job. And if it makes sense to refer you, that's where I would refer you. So it's a little bit of exclusive access. That's $349. Interview prep is, and that's a private session. Interview prep is $20. Not unattainable. $20. Join the group. We'll do interview prep, interview test questions to help you set up for success. We also have a interview prep document that Trevor and I have spent 10 years on. I mean, Trevor, we've been working on it for 4 years, but I spent 10 years on that document. And it's really how people nail their crypto interviews. Now, what I will say is we are excellent recruiters, not good graphic designers. Is it pretty? No. Is it educational and helpful? Yes, but it is not pretty. So that's kind of where that is. Randall, I hope that answers your question. Why do you mixers in crypto? Why do we use mixers in crypto transaction monitoring? What do you mean by that? I'm also not a compliance professional.
Yeah,
but
I don't use mixers.
In crypto compliance.
Unfortunately, yeah, I don't have enough. I've never used a mixer for any kind of personal or any transactions, even that anyone that I'm like in the end, I just don't know.
What other questions do we have, guys? I haven't gotten any resumes. Don't be afraid to send those over. Also,
Shout
join
out
our
to Julie, who's back. Julie's always showing up, bringing the energy. I like to see it. Always asking great questions. What's going on, Julie? Glad to see you again here. Randall's also a consistent guest that always shows up, always posting. Love that. Love that. Jasmine is also someone that's always here. She gave you some kind words there as well, too.
Jasmine. Always amazing. Kindness always wins. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Really wasn't trying to start drama. I just needed people to know, like we needed to get the word out. I mean, it's unacceptable. And I want to say thank you to Danielle for her repost of the post. She was like, of all the people to bully, you picked the nicest one. And I was like, oh my God, so kind. But also like, anyway.
I think it's just, I think it's also too, like, you know what it is, man? Like, I see this a lot in crypto. I don't know why it's so pervasive, but like the troll, right? So I think that anyone, if you're going to start to pursue a career in this industry, when you first start out, there's going to be a lot of people that ignore you. They don't pay you any attention. But as soon as you start to do something good, as soon as you start to get a following, as soon as you start to see some success, I don't know what it is about human behavior, like the hater mode. Like it's like hot dogs and ketchup. It just comes along with the package. You do well, someone's gonna hate. If you give someone $999,999.99, they're gonna shit on you because you didn't give them $1 million. Like there's just always that toxic parasite. Like they're just there. I don't know what it is. I've really tried. I've gotten exhausted in trying to understand why these people are the way they are, but you have to understand that they're there, and it is what it is. Like they're just, no matter what you do throughout the history of mankind, there's always going to be someone, no matter what you do, you're always going to be a bad guy, or that you're always going to get hate. And a lot of times too, like they hate you because they're not you, or they hate because they ain't great. And that's just the simple matter of it. Like they're lazy. Maybe there's something that they personally hate inside themselves that they see that you're able to do very well, and that makes people mad. So like at the end of the day, people with like player hater degrees, it is what it is. Like go in the corner, send that energy somewhere else. It's crazy. It's wild.
It's crazy, but I think one hater in 6 years, not too bad. Not too bad. Someone pointed that out to me. They were like, Emily, there's
you probably got more. You probably got more out there. They're just not like cyber bullying you. They're just probably like crying under their table at how great you are. They're just not being vocal about it. But there's trolls everywhere. Trolls are trolls. It is what it is.
So, Orain, I apologize for misspelling your name, mispronouncing your name. How do you know if your skills are relevant to the mature crypto industry? That's a great question. So I will tell you this. Every crypto company is like any other company. They need marketing, they need HR, they need finance, legal, they need everybody, right? So it really gets down to transferable skills and also passion. Passion is what pushes us forward. So, you got to treat your job hunt like a sales process, right? You are selling yourself to a company, you're selling your time to a company. So if you don't have any experience in the crypto space, you need to make it very clear. Here's where I bring value. Here's where my skills overlap. Here's what I want to be doing. So relevancy, not as important as passion and being interested in the space and knowledgeable about the space. So you definitely want to find and apply to jobs that have similar skill sets, but you got to go beyond that. If you don't have experience in crypto, you need to start networking, reaching out, bringing value, posting on LinkedIn. I just had someone leave me a LinkedIn recommendation. I had a private one-on-one with him. One of the biggest changes he made was he started posting on LinkedIn valuable content. He was getting reached out to by Coinbase and Anchorage and small organizations as well, but like the big names were reaching out to him. He did an amazing job. I'm not going to sit here and take credit, but like got to post on LinkedIn. You got to position yourself as an expert, right? If you don't have that experience, show people that you do. Guys, I'm getting your Telegram messages. Thank you so much. Arain, I hope that's helpful. Really quickly, Mutil, you can send it to my Telegram. There's a ticker at the top of the video. Do you guys see that? Anaka, if you're getting trolls, it's a sign you're doing something right. I'll leave
Bing
that there.
bong.
Bing bong. Julie, Emily, I contacted you last week to help me get a crypto sanctions job. You two always have such a great free advice. Great karma here always. You must have been bullied because someone's threatened and jealous. That's, yeah, you know, we don't need to talk about it anymore. It's just, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Ganyu, what is the current state of crypto recruitment? Is the price action affecting it? The price action always affects it. It just depends on the type of company. Right now, we are incredibly busy. Like so busy to the point I haven't even had time to update my database. So I'm going to read you off the jobs that we have, but there's like a ton more that I have to update. So let us go over that. So what I've got in my database
You
right
got a
now.
lot. And also too, I mean, like I share, I think 25 to 30 jobs every week. Crypto jobs, and this has been going on for the last several months. So it's not as dependent, the actual number of opportunities, on the price as a lot of people think. There is a correlation, but it's not as strong as a lot of folks may have assumed out there. So, and it shifts. It's fluid, right? Like companies, a lot of these companies, they have a budget for their recruitment, and it has nothing that is tied to the price of a token or anything like that. So they keep some of that stuff separate. Hopefully they keep some of that stuff separate.
Yeah. We've got a question. Thoughts on having various versions of your resume highlighting different narratives? Absolutely. This is the way to go, right? You want to have 2 to 3 versions of your resume, one geared towards each direction, right? We are not in the type of industry. I don't think actually anybody has a job that's just one job. We're all doing a bunch of different things. So as a product manager, you could be a project manager, you could be a product designer, you could be in operations, right? So have a resume tailored to each. I think that's a great comment. Thanks for bringing that up. Matul, love what you do. Thank you, sir. All right, so let's go over some of these resumes that we have. Ivan, you are up first. Let me pull you up. And then, guys, if you're going to Telegram message me, give me explicit permission to share your profile because this is screen shared. It is recorded. People are going to see this. So let me share my screen. All right, Mr. Ivan, let me pull this up. Add to, oh, that's really small. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Nope. Is there a way to make this bigger?
It's tiny. It's okay.
Okay. All right. We'll play with it. So looking at your resume, it's clean. It's crisp. I have a full understanding of what you're doing. But actually, I looked at your resume last. Did you apply on our website? How have I seen this before? I think maybe we were chatting on LinkedIn. Oh, yes. We were chatting on LinkedIn. Hi. I'm so glad you joined. So there's a couple things that we could do. One, I love that. Let me move this over because it's broken at my part. I love that you've got this first sentence right here. Blockchain and backend developer. The first sentence of your resume is what they're going to read. We have to adjust our resume to accommodate our audience. And who is our audience? They tend to be junior recruiters, HR coordinators. These are the people making $20 an hour to flip through resumes, right? So we've got to make it convenient for them to identify that we're the right fit for this job. So first sentence, here's what I am, here's how long I've been doing it, and here's my industry or specific examples. I love that you've got your technology, your tech stack right up front. And then here's a really great personal sentence. Passionate about building scalable blockchain applications. It is really a clean resume. It is very easy to read. What I would suggest, though, is I think you could get more information into these bullet points, right? Talk about each technology that you used for each project. I love that you've got hyperlinks. That's fantastic, especially with the companies and the titles. The one thing where are you, so you're based in Croatia. So one of the things, I'm in the US and most of my clients are in the US. What is very standard in the US is taking your dates and putting them on the right. It's just a little bit cleaner. When it says Bitcoin transactions, fabulous. Did you do anything with compliance? So yeah, I think you could go into a little bit more depth. Guys, you can have a 2-page resume. You can absolutely have a 2-page resume. 3 pages, no, because then they don't think you can summarize. But overall, I think this is a great resume. The other thing that I would add is a sentence about what the company does. So you've done it right here, maintain an expanded crypto payment system for casinos. But I would just put a little sentence right underneath blockchain developers so you repeat that keyword. Keywords are the name of the game. Keywords, let me get Trevor back up here. Keywords are the name of the game. What's interesting is when I'm searching an applicant tracking system, when I'm searching LinkedIn, those that have the most of the same keyword, they come up first. So you want to make sure you're repeating crypto, Web3, blockchain, have it in your summary, have it in your experience section, have it in your skills section. This way you're coming up higher on the list. Now, guys, is it to my advantage to tell you this information? No, because there's a ton of people out here that are going to put the keyword crypto on their profile because they're interested and passionate about it, but that is how it's going to pull up. So when I first started being a crypto recruiter 6 years ago, there was less than 3,000 people in the world that had the keyword crypto on their profile. Now there's 3,000 crypto recruiters on LinkedIn. And there's over 1 million. There might actually be more than 1 million crypto candidates. So it really is all about those keywords. Now, what I do want to tell you is I don't want you to bait and switch someone. I don't want you to say ton of experience in crypto if you've never worked in the space or you've never done a project. So just make sure you're being truthful and honest in your interviews. I don't know if I told you this, Trevor, and I'm making a video about this, but I was on an interview with someone yesterday and they were like, yeah, I bought Bitcoin in 2007. I was like, really? I think my toxic trait is anytime someone lies to me, I'm not afraid to ask more questions. So I was like, really? Oh my gosh. So you were an early adopter. It was actually really funny. Really funny. It made me laugh. I mean, I stayed professional, but like, thank God we weren't on video because my facial expression would not have been professional. But I hope that helps.
Yeah, no poker face. I mean,
go ahead.
one of the other things too, kind of going back to this multiple versions of the resume. I know that we've talked about this before, but one thing that I found is helpful if you want to try to pair this and use it with tools like ChatGPT or whatever other LLM that you want to use out there for this purpose. But try to create like a master resume, something that has every single possible thing that you can think that you've done in your job. So let's just use this example, right? If I was working in a coffee shop and I was a barista, right? I'd write down every single thing. Like I opened the store up, I organized the coffee, I brought out the coffee, I organized the croissants, I did this, I cleaned this, I did like literally every single thing that you did from the time you clock in to you clock out. It's going to be exhaustive. It's going to be long. It's going to be so much stuff there. But from that, then you can take the job description and then start to utilize that. And you can ask ChatGPT to remember your resume, the master resume that has every single thing that you've done, and say, compare that with this job description to highlight the relevant skills and responsibilities of my role that are going to be, important for me to be successful in this job. And it's going to do a really good job of just kind of weeding out the stuff that you don't need to focus on, but then it's going to still take a little bit more of that personal touch, right? Like you actually going in and knowing which of those roles and responsibilities to elaborate a little bit more on, to highlight the things that are going to be more, I would say, I mean, provocative, or to be more attractive, quite frankly, for that potential recruiter or the hiring manager on the other end. And then taking all the advice that, obviously that you get when you come to these sessions. And, then even still, you can have a one-on-one experience to make sure that you're really fine tuning that, right? So it's kind of like saying, you get a bunch of fabric, you can have a bunch of different fabric, but then ChatGPT will give you like a stock suit that you would buy at a tailor, but then you go back to that tailor and then really have them to take your specific measurements and to really kind of fit you and your body type to make it look the best, right? So there's always ways that you can refine it and make it sharper and cleaner and cleaner. And I think that a lot of this as well too is going to be a process of learning, right? If you're not getting interviews and then you make some tweaks and you start to get more interview requests, or you start to get more people to start stalking your profile, there's going to be probably a reason why that is. So I think that's going to be another helpful tip as well too. There was something else here. Yes, Anka. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name right. Anka. She brought up a comment rather, about seeing jobs being open and reposted over and over again. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because this is something that I was thinking about, and I was going to post about it, but I actually didn't post about it. But as a job seeker, this is another element. This is something else that you have to add into the research that you're doing. You need to research like these jobs. Like if a job's been open for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, you got to start questioning yourself, right? Now, unfortunately, something that has become prevalent in our industry is that a lot of people, I'm not going to name names, but I think that companies are using job descriptions as like this placeholder, or they're using it to potentially try to top grade their internal employees, right? So they usually they just it's like people see that companies are hiring and they assume that a lot of time they're in, one, much better financial shape than they probably are, or two, it's just a way for them to candidate harvest. They're just consistently people are applying nonstop, and they're just filling up their ATS with candidates, but they're actually never reaching out to anyone. They're never going to a final round interview. They're just, I'm not going to say this word, but they're not necessarily doing the most righteous thing, and they're just kind of playing with people's times, unfortunately. So you, as a job seeker, you have to be very cautious about that, and you have to do your due diligence. And if you do get the opportunity to ever get in contact with an internal recruiter that's working at one of these companies, don't ever be afraid to ask, like, hey, I seen this job was posted for 3 months, it was taken down, then it was brought back up, and it's been open for a month and a half. Like, what's going on? Right? Like, you need to ask that question. And if they're not able to give you a valid reason to why that is, then that should be a red flag for you. So unfortunately, there are a ton of jobs that have been posted for a long time, that consistently posted over and over again. And sometimes it's a bit misleading. So just be very cautious of that, folks, and to make sure that you're keeping track of when these jobs are posted and when they go down. And I would love it. Quite frankly, I think that companies do a really good job of consistently posting jobs that they have available. But I would love to start seeing more people in our industry start like actually making highlights about when they hire, right? Like, let the community know that that job's no longer available. Let the community know who's the awesome person that you brought on board, right? Like, you got 10,000 applicants. Showcase the person who actually won the great prize, like who joined your team, highlight that person. And there are some really good companies that do that, but others aren't doing so well. So I would love to see that a little bit more. That's just end of my little rant there.
So, there's a lot of companies that post jobs on their website and don't have jobs posted anywhere else, or they post on free job boards. Here's my concern. The reason that I like when people post jobs on LinkedIn is because they're making an active investment into the job search, into the hiring process, right? It's not cheap to post a job on LinkedIn. So if they are spending money to post a job, they're most likely actually hiring. Now, when someone updates their website with a job, they could forget to update their website. The job could be closed. It could be an evergreen role where they're always just looking at applicants. But I find applying on platforms that are paid, you'll have more success than just applying direct to the website. I hate to say this, but also like same with us. Hate to say it, but LinkedIn is really where we have the most updated all of our non-confidential jobs. Man, I mean, we get hundreds of form fill outs on our website. We probably get about 50 to 100 a day. Most of them are updated, but we only update the website once a week. Otherwise, we'd be updating it every day, which we just don't have the bandwidth. So LinkedIn, set alerts, job alerts on our LinkedIn page. Gong Yu says, Trevor, I always see your job posts. I mean, Trevor, it's incredible that you do that. Absolutely incredible. Julie has a question. Does LinkedIn Premium push resume up top when recruiting companies search for candidates? No. LinkedIn Premium gives us access to message you directly if we don't have LinkedIn Premium. No, I think actually I have to have LinkedIn Premium too. But LinkedIn Premium, other than just being able to connect with your network, see who's looking at your profile, send out more connection requests, it does nothing for your job hunt. Annika, 2007, did you interview Satoshi? Must have been. Must have. Okay, we've got a couple resumes. Let's look at Mr. Trevor. Share screen.
Great name.
I'm so excited. So right now we're on StreamYard. We're switching to Restream, which streams on like 10 more platforms. So I'm really excited. If you guys really want to stay in touch, it's going to sound so silly. Follow us on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. I spent a lot of time on TikTok recently just with how great the support is. I am trying to make this bigger. It's not doing it. Okay. Sorry, guys. I know this is not ideal. So, Trevor, AI and blockchain developer. Love it. Email, LinkedIn, location. We need a phone number. People like to call. Any good recruiter is going to call you, not email you. And also, like, I have so many emails. Anyway. Blockchain and smart contract developer with a passion for building innovative, decentralized solutions with X years of experience building innovative, decentralized solutions. We don't want to use the word I in a resume. I am proficient. You can just say proficient in Python, or you can say 7+ years of experience with Python, JavaScript, and frameworks like Fast API and Node. Here's I again. Talk about, instead of earned specialized certificate, maybe earned is the right word. But I love that you've got your certifications at the very top in the summary. That is educational, and that gives me, some insight into what I'm looking at. I always suggest having a sentence about what the company does. Not only does it add keywords, but it educates the reader, right? Again, who are we dealing with? Junior recruiters, HR coordinators. These people don't know the crypto companies. So you have to be like, hey, this is a crypto company. Otherwise, they have to do the research on their own, right? And my concern is, are they actually going to do that research? And the answer is usually no. So what a recruiter would have to do if they didn't know Lino AI was go to your LinkedIn page. From your LinkedIn page, they would click on the icon on your right, which is your company. Then it would scroll down on the page to your actual company experience. Then you got to click on that icon. Then it takes you to the company page. Then you got to click on the about section, and then you got to read the about section, right? These are so many clicks. So just make it easy for them. That's one of my philosophies. If you want something, make it as easy as possible for that person to give it to you, right? Same thing goes for Christmas gifts. If you want a Christmas gift, you outline the Christmas gift that you want. Anyway, I just finished all my Christmas shopping. I'm very excited about it. Software developer, increased engagement through developing and maintaining Marvel AI and educational AI agent. Very cool. Just give me a little more information. Like, what does this mean? I see you are currently there. So just go into a little bit more detail. Yeah, so you've got 2 bullet points underneath each. Totally fine, short and sweet. And I noticed you do have 2 resumes or 2 pages. Here's what I would suggest. If you want to be in crypto, let's bring that up front and center. Let's show them crypto, crypto, crypto. People are looking at your resume for 3 to 30 seconds. I want someone to look at your resume and be like, oh my God, this guy's in crypto. Let's call him immediately. So I would bring all your projects to the top of your resume. I feel so bad that the screen is so small. Ugh, fail. Web3 Solidity Bootcamp, University of New York at Buffalo, IBM. I mean, these are some great names. What a fail to share this right now on this small. Oh, skills, beautiful. And I love the period in between each. Makes it very easy to read. One of the things I'm noticing though is you've got like gray then black. So maybe we make technical skills gray and then this black just to kind of keep with the theme. Hey, Douglas, good to see you here. Thanks for joining. And then projects, I would put crypto projects, another keyword opportunity. I don't think you need remote on your education. I also, let's see, you got dates. Yeah, I don't think you need remote on your education, but otherwise not a bad resume. I think it's visually appealing. I like the gray and the black. Easy to read. Great job, Trevor. Great job. That would be my suggestion there. Back to me and Trevor.
We had a comment about Jerry about the color.
What
Is
color?
it chartreuse?
What color?
The graphics, the yellow hue. Is it chartreuse?
Where?
I don't think so.
Wait, what graphic?
I don't
where?
know. I think he's talking about the crypto recruiters color.
I thought chartreuse was like a pink.
I don't know. But there was another comment on there about interesting people to follow. So if you are still listening, Jerry, I also do a weekly post just shouting out people that share valuable content. And I posted 4 days ago. So you can go check my page and hit that notification bell because I do that pretty constant.
Beautiful.
The list is quite comprehensive, so I don't want to read it off here during this, but there's a lot of people there, so check that out.
Beautiful. You are welcome, Trevor. Thank you for coming. So I've got, sorry if you can hear that. I live right by a train. We've got 2 more resumes to go through, and I just want to bring Douglas up for a second. I'm seeking professional opportunities that align with 3 specific requirements. Fully remote, me too. Compensation in crypto, love that. Contract base, even better. Unfortunately, despite numerous interactions with recruiters on LinkedIn, none have successfully matched me to roles with this criteria. This gap has consistently required me to source suitable clients independently. Given that I process both expertise for the roles in acquisition to identify such, it cuts off the rest of the comment. Sorry, my friend. So here's the thing. Recruiters are not placement specialists. I mean, there are some placement specialists. I've never heard of anyone being successful with a placement specialist. The problem with us is we are limited to what our clients are looking for. And I hate to say it. We, the crypto recruiters, don't charge candidates to go out and job hunt on their behalf. The only thing I charge for is my time for interview prep and resume writing. That's it. I think and let me take a step back. So if you think about it, if I were to get a job, I could provide 5 candidates to that job and make a placement, right? If I were to search for a job for a candidate, there's really only one job for one candidate. It's a much harder process. So recruiters, placement recruiters, the reason that I'm calling BS is because I know how difficult it is. And again, I've never heard of anyone being successful. If anything, it just ruins it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something I would invest in, especially if it's like really inexpensive. So do placement firms exist? Yes. Have I seen anyone be successful? No, but we are limited to what our clients are looking for. So if the recruiter has an opportunity for you, Douglas, absolutely, they're going to reach out. But if we just don't have the opportunity, we just haven't had the right client for you. But I hope we can stay in touch.
It's also too like if it's a very specific, type of scenario that is going to only work for, whatever your parameters are as well. I think that one of the things that job seekers can do is spend more time, especially in the age that we are now, right? Where your resume gets you so far, but the activities that you're doing online are paramount. I can't stress this enough, right? Like, if you're not visible online, it's like having the best pizza restaurant in the world that is making incredible pizza from the best quality ingredients, but no one knows you exist. I don't know where your pizza shop is. What hours are you open? I don't know what ingredient. Why are your ingredients so good? Like, do you guys have reviews? Like, I've never heard of you before. And that's what a lot of, unfortunately, hiring managers and recruiters, right? If you're not popping up on their algorithm, if their friends aren't talking about you or something that you've contributed, like if you're not at networking events, if you're not always visible online these days, like that is the added layer of credibility, especially in the age where you're getting more, more interviews with fake AI. You're getting more people that are just, using these tools to fabricate things. Like your presence online and the additional thing that you're doing to market yourself as you are the actual product, that is going to truly help set you apart so much more than just the kind of static act of having a resume online and hoping that people kind of find you. So yes, you need to do that. And hopefully, Douglas, you can find someone that can, get you the thing that you're looking for specifically. But if you're running up against a wall and you're butting your head against the wall and you're having frustration with the ability of what other recruiters are able to do for you, I would say this is going to be a great opportunity to see, how you can utilize some of these other platforms to put yourself out there and make yourself more marketable. And then let your knowledge, let your expertise speak for itself. Show samples of some of the great work that you're doing, some of the groups you're involved with, the communities that you're involved with. And when you start to do that, I know it takes time. It's not necessarily an immediate return on investment, but I guarantee you, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of that and being consistent, not like once every blue moon, consistency. And it doesn't even have to be consistency like the same thing. You can try different methods. You see what works and what doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, then maybe, abandon that and move on to something else. But I think the name of the game is always being really present on these different social media platforms so that, you're letting who you are, your personality and your experience speak for itself. And once you start doing that, you'll be amazed at kind of the people start to come your way. Where you go, Em? You're on mute.
Sorry, I'm dealing with a dog right now who we love, but is just loves to talk. So I'm trying to balance that. All right. So let us move on to, let me see if there's anything. Oh, guys, join our Telegram group at the Crypto Recruiters. To kind of stay in the loop, we've got 230 subscribers. So come on in, join, let's chat. What we haven't really been on is Discord. I'm so done with Discord. Anyway, let's go to Matul. I'm just so it's just so, man. All right. Full dash stack developer. Beautiful. We're going to take out the word I. Blockchain programmer with interest and skills in programs, finance, through designing and writing smart contracts, building dApps, and much more. So this is almost like a sales pitch. I don't mind it, but I think it's more of what's your experience? What's your tech stack? Where do you bring the value? Blockchain technology is my passion. That is all. I actually don't mind this. It gives some personality to your resume. Skills, programming. What kind of programming? You've got periods here, investor relations. I need more information here. So these are your skills, but how did you acquire these skills? How have you implemented these skills? Education, beautiful. I would take your dates of education off your LinkedIn, off your resume and your LinkedIn profile. This is just going to tell people how old you are, right? And your age shouldn't matter. Your age has nothing to do with what your salary should be, what your experience level should be. Age doesn't matter. It's just a number. Love that you have a link. Beautiful. And it's in red. That's unique. But I will tell you, psychology, and I know this sounds so silly, psychology, red is a very angry color. So I might change this to a green, or don't do yellow because yellow on white is hard. It's also my color. Email, Telegram. Is this Telegram or X? Phone number, location. I like the contact. Usually I would have that at the top of the resume. I think overall, we just need to understand what you've done. Experience, the crypto hedge fund. Tell me more. I want to know more. So Matul, I'd love to invite you back for next week. Make some updates to your profile. Stop sharing. Make some updates to your profile and we can go over it again. I made a promise to Miss Monica. Monica, are you the lovely lady on TikTok that always comes to my TikTok lives? Sorry, there's so many people. I mix up names. I don't mean to, but thank you for your patience. Okay, she took her email, took her phone number off. Beautiful. We're going to do a little screen share here. Douglas, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Great to see you here, and thanks for standing up to me for me on Owen's post. All right. Slides, extra camera, share screen. I'm so excited to stop using StreamYard and get to what? Oh my God, Restream. So excited. Can't wait. Can't wait.
I like StreamYard.
I know, but
I don't hate it. I like
you
StreamYard.
can't stream to TikTok or multiple Twitters. It's a pain. So I'm excited. Monica, let me zoom out a little bit so we can just see the overall flow of the resume. So 'tis 3 pages, which we could definitely bring down to 2, because it's just certifications and education. And here's one of my hacks, right? So you see these spaces in between the experience. Let me do this, like right here. Wait a second. Oh, you have this in a table. So what I would encourage you to do is go to ChatGPT, say format this resume in plain text, redo it so that way it's not in a table format and it doesn't condense. The reason why is like this spacing is off. Is it possible for us to change this? Oh, there we go. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you these spaces in between the experience, make it a font size 5. So that way there's still a space, but it saves you some room. Elevance Health. Yes, you are the person from TikTok, right? We're going to delete that. What I love and what you did a great job with, September 2009 to April 2025. What you want to do is if you've worked for a company for a long time, you need to showcase, hey, I've been at this company for a bajillion years, right? And you also want to show your progression within that company. So if you were to just put Elevance Health 2024 to 2025 as an inexperienced or recruiter that's moving too fast, they're going to say, oh, they were in this job for a year. They were in this job for 4 years. They were in this job for 1 year, but it's all the same company. So you did a great job clarifying that. I wonder, hold on one second. Let me see. Okay. So the table is fine that you put your core skills and competencies. Beautiful. See, look at that. See, by taking it, oh wait, am I still sharing my screen? Hold on. Restream, here I come. Okay, let's try this again. So just by editing that one space, we got this down to 2 pages, basically, right? So that's all I need you to do is just go through these spaces and make them a little bit smaller. Certifications, in your specific case, I would almost bring certifications right under crypto blockchain experience, right? Because they're going to look at this and say, oh, okay, this is probably personal experience. So that way, if we put the certifications right under, it's like, oh yeah, Monica knows her stuff and she's qualified. You are not currently in these roles, so you made them past tense. Beautiful. Overall, I would give this resume a solid 9. Solid 9. The formatting is easy to read. You've research-driven professional with 8 years of experience pivoting into the blockchain analytics and crypto investigation space or function. Skilled in tokenomics research. I mean, I really do. I like the resume. I don't mind it. I think we just need to get it to 2 pages. Does that help? And Monica, thanks for your support on TikTok as we build that platform.
Monica's also she's consistently on LinkedIn as well too.
Yeah, she's always showing up. Monica, I love it.
Support.
All right.
It's amazing, man. Like it's interesting, right? Like you always kind of it's interesting, but like people that show like just say thank you or just show small support, like even like I don't think job seekers understand how far that goes, right? Like just commenting on someone's profile. If you found that there was a helpful post, just to say, wow, that was helpful information that you shared. It's just something else that makes you stand out. And it makes you much more memorable. And, a lot of things, what you can do is like, a lot of us, and this is a consistent complaint, right? Like people are getting ghosted. Recruiters aren't getting back to you. You're applying to jobs, and for whatever reason, like no one's getting back to you. You're not hearing anything. Well, these are other opportunities for you to have a touch point. Not only does it show like the human element of it, which is fantastic, but it gives you an opportunity just to show like that you're paying attention to what they're doing, so that when the time comes around, you're going to be on top of mind awareness. You're going to be someone when they do see your application pop up in a pile of 1,000 others, they're going to be like, wow, you know what? Monica always comments on my profile. Monica's always showing up to our AMAs. Monica's always there commenting. Monica's always posting positive things online, and she looks really happy and just super animated. Like that's the kind of stuff that helps you stand out from all the other people. So as much as yes, recruiters can be more accountable. Yes, we can do a better job at following up to the thousands of messages that we get every single day. Yes, but it's a two-way street, right? Like, what are you doing for yourself? How are you putting yourself in the best position to one, stand out and become more memorable? And a lot of times too, I think that people are having a hard time understanding the true meaning of a relationship, right? A relationship is something where you give something and you get something in return. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give the person the same amount of energy or whatever it is, money. It doesn't have to be the same amount that you're giving them and what you're expecting in return, but there has to be some kind of reciprocal kind of behavior in that, right? I think a lot of people, unfortunately, they think of a relationship as a take and ship. Like I take, you give. And then once you get it, that's it. You move on to the next person. Then you do that same thing over and over and over and over again. And quite frankly, right, in an industry like this that is so personable, it really, really takes a true form of a relationship to help you succeed and to help people to go to bat for you, to help people that they're going to vouch for you. So when you're doing small acts of kindness, it's incredible, 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 incredible. I can't tell you enough at how many times like it's turned around and helped me out. And I think another thing too, right, is just like do something good for someone and don't expect anything in return. Like actually have it be a true selfless act. And the universe opens doors for you that you will never have expected. And it doesn't come to you when like you want it. It always seems to come back like that good karma. It always comes back when you need it, right? So yeah, that's just my little 2 cents there for all the folks that are out there and wondering how you can get better relationships with recruiters, hiring managers, or they're just people on a potential team that you want to join. When you're job seeking, this is one last thing I'll say. I'll give a little bit of advice on this, but I think one thing that people do is they spend a lot of time and they focus on building relationships with hiring managers and recruiters. But one of the things that can be an opportunity is also building relationships with people that might be on the same team that you're on, right? If you're trying to get a marketing role at a company, why aren't you making friends with other marketers? Why aren't you like connecting with like the CMO? Like that might be your boss. So yes, that's a hiring manager, but like, what about other people on the marketing team that you might interact with? If you're in marketing, maybe you might like interact with the content person. Maybe you might have to interact with the social media person. Connect with them and like have a conversation about like what's it actually like to work for that company. Is this a cool company to work for? Do you even know if the vibe is like in check with what your vibe is, like before you even go down this arduous process of sending out applications and resumes and applying the jobs, like then you get the interview and then you realize that it's a crappy environment that you never wanted anything to be a part of in the first place. So you just wasted a bunch of time. So these are just little tips and tricks that hopefully you guys can implement, and you can start doing that stuff literally today.
I was
And it
talking
costs
to my
zero.
friend, thank you. I was talking to my friend Tony here in Chicago with me, and something that he does is he really capitalizes on comments. So he sets alerts for people that have very large followings, and then is one of the first people to comment on those posts and gets a lot of views from it. So if anything, set up alerts on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and start commenting. That's going to get you a lot of traction. But again, it has to be smart, has to be knowledgeable. It can't just be like, great post. That does nothing.
Yeah.
But really like engage.
Until you build a certain, I mean, until you build like a certain following, like if you have 1 million followers, then it's a little bit different. But it's where you are. But I think also too, I was reading this. I don't know who posted this, but it was a really good post. But like in the age that we are right now, with so much competition and everyone wanting to get into this industry, well, some people aren't, but there's still a very heavy demand for people that do want to get into crypto, blockchain, Web3, digital assets, and everything adjacent. Is that the comments that you put and the way that you show up, it just shows like your authenticity. It's your believability. So in an age where everything is like AI vomit or like whatever the hell it is, right? Like where people are just cut paste, they're copying, they're not doing the hard work. In an age like that, when you show up and when you post content and you are vulnerable and you show like that shows a real human element, a real side to you. That's going to give a potential hiring manager or a potential teammate an insight to like, what's it like working with this person? Like, how do they show up when there's adversity? When the markets are doing bad, do they go away? Are they the kind of person that only shows up when Bitcoin is at an all-time high? Is that the kind of person that only posts? Are they also posting when Bitcoin goes down 20% in a day? Are they also posting when, there's a bunch of social economical issues? Are they being vulnerable? What are they posting about? Are they a subject matter expert? Like I said, it was one of my really good friends. He said, and he's into, marketing and social media, but so he says something of this, and I'll kind of summarize it, but it's basically like people are applying for head of social media and like head of content jobs, but they don't have any social media and they don't have any content on their personal pages. Like, what, how are you going to expect a company to entrust you with a $10 million budget when you can't even do a good job at marketing yourself or like putting out content like for yourself, right? So just like utilize this. It's a great opportunity. It's an incredible time that we live in to be more realistic and utilize this to help yourself stand out. And it helps people like relate to you. It helps people show that you're a real person behind the screen, and behind that resume.
Yep. Am I frozen?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, beautiful. Matul, thank you. Come back next week. We will go over it. And Jasmine, oh my God, it's such a breath of fresh air. There are only 3 types of people in the world: giver, takers, and matchers. A natural born giver will often end up receiving so much more than they could ever dream of. It is also way more satisfying. Completely agree. Monica, very welcome. Always thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. All right. It is 11:23 Central, 12:23 Eastern. We got to get going.
Woo! Another
Any last
session.
questions? Always something. We have I actually have 12
Always
interviews.
great to see everyone show up.
Yes, always great.
We got a lot of we're cooking with gas here, folks. We got a lot of exciting initiatives that we're going to be doing. We got some stuff that's going to be really game changing coming out soon. Consistently giving back to the community. That's what we love to do. That's why we're here, and we consistently show up for you. But one thing that I would say as leaving words of advice is that like we're here to show up for you, but please, everyone, show up for yourself. take this opportunity to like implement the thing that we talked about. Like, just don't sit on this knowledge. And if you found something to be helpful here, share it with a friend. If you found something that's going to help you get a job, connect with someone else. Like, how many people are in this group? How many followers do we have? Hundreds, like thousands, right? I mean, tens of thousands of followers now at this point. If you're all in a position where you're seeking a job, I've said this numerous times. I don't know how many of you have actually taken this bit of advice, but I would love to get some people to volunteer and talk about this for future sessions. But find someone else that's trying to get the same job that you're doing. Connect with them, right? Form your own Discord group or your own Telegram group of like compliance job seekers. Like, you're so much more powerful together than trying to do this divided and trying to like do all the hard work, right? Like, if maybe someone in your network that you have like this little buddy group of job seekers, maybe they get an interview for a job that you're not looking for. Well, guess what? Now you have someone in that group that had that skill set, and you can be the one to recommend that person to the recruiter. Now you're the recruiter's best friend. You might not be a good fit for their job, but you're helping them hire roles. They're going to think of you, and they're going to go out of their way so much more to like do you a solid. And maybe if they can't find you a job, then they'll refer you to someone else that can help them. So like, just kind of always thinking outside the box. Don't limit yourself. Join our Telegram group. I don't know how many times I've said this as well before. Follow us, hit the alert button, go to our YouTube channel, actually watch some of the videos. And if you're lazy, like, you can put it in, I don't know, a note-taking app or something, and like have it summarize and do a transcript of the actual episode, and then use ChatGPT to summarize and say what are the important points that they've been talking about for the last hour. But like, do the hard works. Don't try to just take the shortcuts. And that's those small tweaks and this small mindset changes. It's incredible the impact of that, what it will do for your job search and your just career overall.
Completely agree. Just want to shout out really quickly, Jerry. So glad that it's working for you. Guys, join our Telegram. You want direct access? You want more access to our live streams? Join Telegram. Chat with us. We're here, just not Discord. I can't handle it. Andrew, Monica just sent you a connection request. We worked at the same company for 5 years. That's awesome. Look, it's a small world. It's an even smaller world in crypto. All right, my friends, thank you so much for coming. We will see you soon. Definitely next one. Do you just shilling this week, Trev?
Not this week. We had some conflict in scheduling issues, but we got a lot coming up. Just follow us, hit that alert button. We're going to consistently be bringing the alpha, consistently bringing you these helpful conversations. So look forward to connecting with all of you, and drop a like, check out our pages. We're here for you.
Bye, everybody.